Meghna Ghai, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Neha, for joining us. You're the president of Whistling Wood International, the prestigious film institute that was founded by your father, Subhash Ghai. Now, there's a 3-day open to all event called Celebrate Cinema is being held at the institute. Please tell us more about this event and the idea behind it.
Yes, so Celebrate Cinema, as the name suggests, it's about celebrating cinema. And in 2012, when Indian cinema completed 100 years, we decided to celebrate it in a very unique way. Many people were doing various things and, in their own way, trying to kind of mark that huge occasion. But what we did was we opened up our campus. So here in Mumbai, in Film City, we have a 5-acre campus where we run all kinds of courses to do with creative arts and media. And we started primarily as a film school, but we are a creative arts school now where we teach fashion design, visual communication design, animation, gaming, acting, music composition and production, so various courses. And the idea was that nobody knew what we do here and nobody knew what our campus was like. So what we thought was we'd open up our campus to every film enthusiast and student out there. Age no bar, didn't matter if they were film students or not, they could be from anywhere, to just come in and enjoy and celebrate cinema. So we have every year since then been doing the same because we had such a good feedback and we had such good, so many compliments from various people about how we conducted it. So it's a 3-day event with masterclasses and panel discussions with industry professionals and stalwarts. We do a lot of installations on campus, and all of them are done by students and faculty. It really is a festive mood, but the idea here was to not just keep it, festive. We wanted to also send people back with something. So we do hundreds of workshops on campus. So people can just understand what it is like to be an actor for the day or what it's like to be a screenwriter. And of course, this year our theme is future of storytelling and emerging media. So we are touching upon things like virtual reality, augmented reality, and virtual production. So it's going to be really exciting, I feel, in the next 3 days.
Like you said, it's open to all. You mean anybody?
Anybody
can come and attend this 3-day workshop.
I think our youngest, attendee has been a 6-month-old infant, and the oldest has been, in their 80s. So it's been quite amazing to see families come in, just people coming from all over the country actually to experience this.
Like you said, there's some masterclasses which are being held at the event. I know there's some big names like Karan, Johar too will be conducting a masterclass.
Yes.
That is, of course, part of this 3-day event. Can you please tell us more about it and the theme of this masterclass?
So like I said, our overall theme is future of storytelling. So every panel, every masterclass, we will be discussing, a little bit of the past, a little bit of what the future looks like. So this masterclass with Karan Johar will have Mr. Ghai, of course, our founder and chairman, Karan himself, and Shashank Khaitan, who is a new young age, a young filmmaker. So the idea is to have 3 generations of very successful Indian commercial cinema filmmakers to come and talk about what they learn from each other and how they're changing the formats of storytelling. Similarly, we have a session with the team from Ghumar. So generally, when we have our theme, we have a theme that is related to cinema and media, but we also have a theme for social cause. And this time our social cause is unstoppable spirits. This all kind of came about because last year we had India had a team that was going to Australia, which for the World Transplant Games, which is a very unique idea. It's like the Olympics, but it's only for organ donors and recipients to participate in. We are a huge supporter of organ donation, and for this, our music students composed a song, and that song became the anthem for the transplant games. And so it was the official anthem, representing Team India. And so for the Unstoppable Spirits, we will be felicitating these organ donors, some of them who went and participated and won medals for our country. Following that, we have the Ghumar workshop. So if you've seen Ghumar, it is about a young girl who, despite her disability, really goes ahead and achieves what she's thought she would. So I think that the idea is to really showcase to people not just that we should be inclusive, but also that you can live a very normal, in fact, a very athletic life despite having donated an organ or received it or having any kind of disability.
Sure, sure. Like you said, Shashank Khetan will also be conducting a masterclass. Shashank Khetan is the one who actually passed out from Whistling Wood, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So, which are the other famous actor, director you think who actually have passed from Whistling Wood in the past?
We are, it's amazing how every film that comes out, there are at least 8 to 10 names there which we recognize, and we know the students have been from Whistling Woods. Shashank's batch was a special batch. It's the first batch of Whistling Woods. From his batch itself, we have Ahana Kumra, who's a well-known actress. Following that, the later batches, we had Sahil Ved, we have Anil Mangi, we have Rajshri Deshpande, who just floored everybody with her performance in Trial by Fire. I don't know if you saw that, but it's a really, really amazing. Her performance is just breathtaking. We've had Aarti Karav, who's India's first woman sci-fi filmmaker. She made the film Cargo, and Tim Cook had a special mention for her. We've had Aditi Anand, we've had so many, but not just as actors. They've performed in all fields that they've graduated from. So whether it's producing, editing, sound design and recording, fashion design. So they're all over the place, which is what the purpose of the institution was.
Your father, Subhash Ghai, films are like textbook for many filmmakers. Even for directors. Which are some of the Subhash Ji films that are taught at the institute?
It's funny you ask that, because I think that different departments choose different kind of films to show to students, but most of these students really get one-on-one experience to interact with Subhash Ji. So we've had master classes where we've shown his films, and he's been able to discuss the film with them and show them behind the scenes. So even though he's really busy, we try to get him, and he loves teaching, so that's his passion. So we do discuss his films with students from but it's always like different films, because every film of his is a very different characteristic about it as well. So we discuss different films. It's not like one film that we've got in the curriculum static. So yeah.
So then, while growing up, it never thought your mind to become an actor or a director?
Actually, frankly, it seems unbelievable, but no, it didn't. It's just something that, my family just brought me up in a very down-to-earth manner. I was not part of any of the film circle or film. My school, also, I went to a very regular school, which I never interacted with anybody from the film industry. So I was very protected as a child. And as I grew up, I started assisting my father from the time I was 16. And I think the more I assisted him, the more I liked the management side of things. I liked the post film marketing, post film PR. I enjoyed myself doing that more than the creative side. And one thing that I'm grateful for is that my parents never forced me to do anything that I wasn't cut out to do. And I think the film school just came, or the Whistling Woods, now not just a film school, but came to me as a huge opportunity, because it really I was able to use my experience as a child of being part of a film family and the goodwill that my family has accumulated over the years, along with my management skills, because I'm a graduate of King's College in London. I did the SE in business management, and so use both of them and really bring out the future directors and the future actors. I think that's more valuable than one person becoming an actor, isn't it?
So then, which film you worked on as in assistant?
So the first thing was the first event that I ever worked with my father on was Cinema 100, which was to celebrate 100 years of world cinema. And this was a huge event that took place, which the NFDC had sponsored. And my father was the director of the show. And that was my first experience. And then after that, I worked on Pardes, I worked on Tal. With Tal and Yade, it was more on international distribution in the UK, because I was based out of the UK. And then I came back and started working for Whistling Woods. So yeah, it's...
So Pardes was the film that you really got your hands on.
Pardes was, I was studying still, but I did work on not work. I used to be attending, I was an intern, so I used to be working on the scripting. I mean, I used to be sitting with them and listening about the scripts and dialogue sittings. Then it came to some of the schedules of the shoot that I attended in Lanavla, etc. And then, of course, post. I worked a lot on the post. I made the making of the film. So I have a very small credit right at the end, in the end credits, if you get to that ever. But that was my only film credit. I never did anything to do with
So then, what is your most enduring memory of Pardes, of making Pardes with your father?
I think my most, there were so many, to be honest, so many. There was some enduring, some not so enduring, because it was a big training ground for me when my father showed me how to be a true professional, and he never treated me differently. He gave me the lowest ADCA role. In fact, just like all the odd jobs I was doing, but at the same time, he never indulged in any kind of pampering on set. In fact, he was extra strict with me, which at that point I did not like, but now I appreciate it.
Well, maybe take us to the set of Pardes. Like, what was it like, shooting with Shah Rukh Khan, with Amish Puri?
So the first day itself, I mean, I knew all of these people. As a child, I have seen Uncle Amish Puri ji was always in my dad's film. So he had seen me as a little kid. Shah Rukh as well, I hadn't met during Trimurti. So I knew everybody. Mahima was new at that point, but we instantly clicked, and because we were the same age group, we made friends. But my first day of set was my dad screaming at me in front of the entire crew because I was late. And I think I went into Mahima's makeup room and just cried, and she was like consoling me because she understood what it is like to be shouted at in front of everybody. And that's when I really developed a bond with her. It was great fun. I think that Shah Rukh generally is such an amazing person, so down to earth, and he makes everything so comfortable for everyone. And we had newcomers on that film. Apurva and Mahima were newcomers, and I was also a newcomer. But we didn't feel like we were working with a star ever. It was always fun. My dad himself is great with actors. He's always humoring them and making sure that the environment on the set is really light. So while it was a great experience being part of all of it, for some reason I never wanted to do it myself, which is why I never got into production. One of the most valued memories that I have of working on Pardes is that was the last film that we ever edited on a Steenbeck. I don't know if you know, but they used to have those reels, and you had to cut the film and join it together at that particular second. I mean, today, I don't think anybody will understand the kind of precision you needed in editing to do that. And I fortunately had the opportunity of, in getting into that department, and I would sit there, and we had a legend, Renu Saluja, editing that film.
Yeah.
And I used to sit right there. She had an assistant, Himani, and then I used to sit right behind her, and I used to just watch her. Okay, and how she edited. And I think that for me, and then at that, the last climax scene was being edited. And I remember Renu ji had a very different take on that song, ka edit, and they were a bit nervous about
the song in the end. Nahi hona.
Yeah. And they were a bit nervous about how my father would react, because climax is generally his, thing, and he wants to be part of it. And I still remember it was a victory for all three of us, because he came in, he saw it, and he said, "Done, no changes." And I think वो दिन है और आज का दिन है, मैंने कभी उनको कभी first cut में हाँ बोलना नहीं देखा है. So it was quite amazing, that experience of working with Renu ji, who's amazing, and to have a woman editor, who really it was very inspiring for me at a very early age and start of my career.
Was it a different ending, you're saying, from the script that Renu edited?
No, there was no different. I mean, generally in those days, there were no bound scripts. A lot of the things that my father would do on the set, dialogues used to get written on the sets. All the actors were used to that. And I think dubbing bhi bahut hoti thi us time, so you could correct it in post. But I think it was just the way she did the interlude between the song and the scene, and just made it, the drama that she added to it was amazing. Yeah.
Do you remember which scene was? You're not told us which scene was that. The day one, when you got late.
I just remember it was in Film City. It was in a set. The scene exactly I don't remember, but it was the set of the house, of Ganga's house. Where she's getting ready to meet her fiance. That was the time we were shooting that, and there's a snake scene. So all those shots were shot there. Then, so, yeah.
And finally, do you think there's a reformer inside Subhashji? Because be it Whistling Woods, with which he wants to give back to the society, he's imparting film education, or his film where he wants to take prisoners out of the jail and make them a better human being.
Absolutely. I think reformer is a great word to use, but he's always been like that. He's always wanted to do something that is, for society, make commercial cinema, but with the values intact. And I think to say that he started Whistling Woods to impart just education is not enough. I feel he started Whistling Woods to empower lives, because he himself, when he came into the industry, was all alone and he had no idea where to go. And he felt that there are so many talented individuals in our country who don't know, they don't have a godfather, they don't know where to go. So he felt it was very important for him to give back to the industry that gave him so much. And honestly, I know he's my father and I can sound like I'm praising him because of that. But if you look at it from a different angle, I don't see anybody who would do that, who would put their life savings into an institution, supported through all the losses that we've gone through, and really have the courage to do that, because it takes a lot of courage. I've been through investors, I've been through big businessmen, but nobody has the vision or the courage to support something like that. So I think the reform that he wanted to see in the industry in terms of professionalism, in terms of the talent that really deserves to be making films and careers in the creative world, to be really showcased and to be able to have that platform. And even today, it's so amazing that all these alumni come over, and anytime they need us, we are there. They are there for us. Today itself, Shashank messaged me saying, I'm going to come early and stay back till late if students want to meet me and talk to me about. So it's so nice, that giving attitude that the alumni have. And I don't think they would have had it if this was a business. They wouldn't have had it if the intention was not in the right place. So I think, yeah, and I think the same for the industry. I have a lot of gratitude for the industry who supported us over the years, from Dilip Kumar Saab to Vaida ji to Amit ji to Shahrukh, today, Karan, actually, Dharma is the highest employer of our Whistling with alumni. They've got like a whole team that's just consists of Whistling with alumni. So I think that kind of support is what we needed from the industry, which we've received. So we're very grateful for that.
Well, more power to you. Thank you so much for your time, Meghna, and
Thank you so much.